Can you imagine how scary that is? You're having a major medical incident, you have no idea, and your baggage claim. It's a beautifully sunny day in California. I'm fully backlit here because there's really no good place to sit in my house right now. Welcome back to the vlog. I had my infusion, my treatment last Friday. It is the following Friday. And I feel still pretty rubbish. I get my treatment for my illness. I have Paroxysmal Nocturnal Hemoglobinuria. I say that 3 times fast. I get it every 7 weeks. There are currently 2 medications on the market that treat my illness specifically and directly, and both make me feel so ill. And it's like a number of symptoms, but the big one is like motion sickness. And like, if you've ever felt like super nauseated, like right here, that's where my motion sickness lives. And it makes me, that coupled with a few other of the side effects, like has me pretty bedbound for about anywhere from like a week to maybe 14 days, depending on like what has been like going on in my life up until I get infused. I've had a really bad 7 weeks leading up to this infusion. From my last infusion, I haven't really ever felt like I got back to my baseline from my last infusion, so I've been pretty sick. But I wanted to make some cookies today. I think I'm gonna start some sourdough, or maybe like a sourdough focaccia or some kind of bread product, because we're basically out of everything that I had pre-batched before I went for my treatment. So yeah, I want to try the TKOs from Bouchon. I butchered the pronunciation of Bouchon, from Bouchon. If you're not familiar, Bouchon is a delicious restaurant and bakery in the Yountville town in Napa, and it is one of the number of amazing restaurants by Thomas Keller and his group. And then just take it easy and kind of slow, kind of trying to come out of this like week of just like feeling so poorly. And like, you may be asking, like, what do you, like, why not just change your medication? There are 2. I have a very rare illness, and as you know, if you're someone with a chronic illness or a really rare illness, you take what you can get and you do everything in your power to like try and mitigate all of your symptoms. I'm like, I think my pre-med load is like, I think I have 10 different drugs that they put me on before they actually give me my drug. I have a bunch of post-med that I take every day after my infusion for 2 weeks, and it's quite a mess. I've been ill for almost 15 years. Having my strokes was the catalyst for me starting Salt and Honey. I had 2 strokes back to back when I was 27, and they were very scary. And I had one in San Francisco International Airport. Could you imagine how scary that is? You're having a major medical incident, you have no idea, and your baggage claim, I don't recommend. And then the 3rd one I had a year later, after I had already started the business and the business was flourishing. And my best friend was a block away from my apartment and had my house keys, and she found me on the floor. I had to save my life. So, thank God. I think about that a lot. And every time I get so emotionally like and eternally grateful for her. For 1, we were on the phone. 2, she had my keys. And 3, she was a block away and called the paramedics. Yeah, that was a lot. And so at the time there was one medication, and like now there's two because I'm on the sister drug of the original. And you know, I've done everything one could imagine to mitigate symptoms, to treat holistically, to augment things so I would feel better between like everything. And changed my diet, changed my lifestyle, added in all of these like other things, you know, added movement and, you know, holistic practices, mindfulness, and like all the shit that they tell you, like all the wellness people tell you to do. I've done it. I've done it multiple times. I'm 15 years in. Yeah, still. Still, this used to be every 2 weeks, now it's every 7 weeks. Every 7 weeks, it is a struggle. I was telling my brother earlier this year, actually, and I'll end on this. There's one of my pre-meds that they have me on. It's a steroid. It literally, because it goes through, I have a port in my chest. Instead of having them access my veins in my arms or my hands, which used to happen, but that ended very quickly. So they put a port in me. It's like right here. It's big and bumpy and gnarly, and there's like a huge keloid scar on top of it. I don't know why I feel so embarrassed about it. It's just like there's shame. That's something to unpack. It's not that I am ashamed of being ill, but you know, it's something just, I have so much trauma around how I got my port. Totally separate story. And the struggle to get it replaced. Anyway, yeah, I was telling him, like, they literally have this drug that is like I get it intravenously. It's pushed to me over like 10 minutes. And literally the moment it hits the IV, it burns me from the inside out. Like my body is on fire, and I feel it from the tip of my big toe to the top of my head. And it scalds. It's like a frog boiling in water. I can only imagine that is the sensation that a frog feels boiling in water. That it burns at everything, like, and it's for like 10 minutes and then it goes away and I don't feel it anymore. But regardless of all of that, regardless of what my like day-to-day experience is in my body, struggling to cope with my illness, struggling to cope with like being and feeling so fragile all the time. Like, random side note, I have had a form of an eye infection for almost 2 months. 2 months of like having something fucked up with my eye or the other eye or both eyes at the same time. And literally it's because my immune system is so shot, and I already have a compromised immune system. But like, if my immune system is as bad as it has been, then the first thing to go is like my eyes. Like, I get it, eye infections, really, it's just like, you feel like you can't win. And, you know, it's just, I wouldn't change it. That's like the crazy thing. It's like, this is how, like, everyone has their thing. I say this to people all the time whenever they ask me about my founding story for Salt and Honey, whenever they ask me about my illness, and I have a whole effing soapbox about my illness and the medical care in the United States and a whole host of things because of my experience. And also being a person of privilege and my experience and how that has impacted how I feel about everything. And I'm not saying that it's like I'm a person of privilege. I am college educated. I present as a white person. I can advocate for myself. And even with all of those tools in my toolbox, I couldn't get help. And that is not like a woe is me. That is a recognition of like, if the system is set up for someone like me to be successful, I cannot imagine what it is like for someone or a parent who does not have any of those things at their disposal have to cope and overcome, because being sick is already a full-time job, but being sick and then having to deal with additional traumas you are mitigating at the same time, you know, pick a lane. They're not easy. It was, when I first got sick, navigating everything that happened all at once, it was like every fire on top of my head, you know? And yet I am so grateful. I would not change a thing. Getting sick, I'm not gonna say it was the best thing that ever happened to me, but it gave me something that I probably would have never received. That is perspective. That is perspective and gratitude. And I wouldn't have my business. I wouldn't have my partner. I wouldn't have the little wonderful life that we've like curated and cultivated here in the Bay. I wouldn't have the relationships that I have, or cherish the relationships that I have in the same way. I wouldn't have changed my lifestyle for the better. And I wouldn't have let go of a lot of toxic behaviors or toxic people had not this all happened. And I think that by having it also happen so young, it allowed me to remove that idea of invincibility for myself, and really brought shit home really quick. And so, yeah, like, if this is, if this is not, I've like rambled on about this for like 16 minutes at this point. But if that is not a reason to start practicing gratitude, then I don't know what is. And I am, like I said, I am so grateful, because I needed a swift kick up my ass. I did not, getting this kind of kick up my ass was not on the cards. That's not how I would have done it. But the universe gives you what you need when you need it and when you need to hear it. And yeah, crazy. And yeah, thanks for coming to my TED Talk about being a sick person. Good morning, everybody. There we go. Feeling a bit better today. It's Saturday. I have a fun house project that I'm doing with my husband this weekend, putting in some drip irrigation in our backyard. Watched a couple of videos online on how to do it. Some from the Drip Depot YouTube, and then this other guy who's based out of Southern California, grows something. I'll link it below. So yeah, we're gonna put in a bit of drip irrigation in our in-ground beds, and then all of our containers. So not a lot, but just enough that we can kind of not have to hand water as much over the like hot part of the summer. The English muffins, as you saw me make last night, are still proofing. It was a bit cold in here last night, so it's not, they didn't rise as much as I would like. And then I did start on the TKOs yesterday. I just made the filling, but I need to make the actual cookie base and do the sandwiches today. So yeah, so here are the kits. So this should hopefully not take very long to do. knowing me, it'll take like 4 times as long as it actually needs to take to do this. So we'll see. So we dry fit we ran into some snafus with the drip. Had to go to the hardware store, came back, dry fit the timer and like all of that stuff to the hose bib. So that's good to go. We're just waiting for it to get a little bit sunny and warm up because it'll heat up the tubing and make it more pliable. So in the meantime, I'm going to start working on my English muffins. Everything's incorporated. We're gonna move this over to our floured work surface, split these into 2 discs, pat them out, get them in the fridge to chill, and then we're gonna make some cookies. I'm so excited for cookies. Morning everyone, it's Sunday morning. Had a great time last night. The cookies went down a treat. In the garden this morning, it's pretty gnar out here. All of our poppies have gone over like in all the parts of the yard. So while I'm motivated this morning, I'm going to take care of some gardening jobs that need to get done. Despite how I was feeling on Friday, I feel pretty good. We went to bed at like 3 a.m. last night because we had coffee ice cream. I'm just gonna take it easy today and get some of this stuff done. I was thinking about, I had like a spurt of energy last night. I was like, I'm gonna make blueberry scones tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not gonna make blueberry scones today. I'll be lucky if I do anything besides this today. But yeah, we had beef short ribs last night and hot links and jerk chicken wings and mac and cheese and potato salad and corn on the cob, and it was so good. And then the cookies, ice cream, these like little like pudding coconut things that are so good. Yeah, it was quite a feast. Yummy. And like my sister-in-law Tracy was like, why is it every time we all get together we all go extra? And I think that's a testament to the fact that we're just a group of people who really like to eat and who really like to cook and like to do the whole thing. So there's that. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse. I'm gonna get started on my gardening jobs. Hopefully make this thing behind me look a little bit more presentable. I have some KDSC in my ears, so I'm gonna listen to some classical music, chill out, and hang out in the garden. Yeah, very chill Sunday. Hi, Choppy. Is it dinner time for you? Yeah? Dinner time for you? Very happy with the progress today from the garden. It's golden hour and it just feels so nice. Like, I haven't spent much time out here this year, and even though our garden is definitely like a happy place, it's been so overwhelming. We haven't been taking care of it. It just feels like such a huge project, you know? So yeah, so I'm gonna leave the vlog here. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave a watering can emoji, a tomato emoji, a garden emoji, a flower emoji in the comments section. And I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed a little taste of the life here in Cali. All right, see you guys later. Bye.